All right, I'll start. Good evening, all, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Akshay. I'm the project director for Moneylife Foundation. Allow me to welcome you all for an important and entertaining session as we embark on a journey into the world of artificial intelligence and its practical applications in our daily lives. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, Moneylife Foundation is a 13-year-old nonprofit organization primarily engaged in spreading financial literacy and advocacy for savers. We also make efforts to spread consumer awareness on a variety of issues that are of interest to our members. So, in today's digital age, where the pace of technological progress seems to know no bounds, understanding the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, or AI as we know it, is crucial. AI has the power to transform the way we work, live, and interact with our rapidly evolving world. AI can be used in the most basic ways to automate routine tasks, or even in more complicated ways to generate prompts for creative work like art or music, or even to help you with writing, editing, or proofreading tasks. AI is now a fast growing field, with big tech companies like Google and Microsoft doubling down on its impact in the future. There are innumerable AI tools available today, each competing to be the best in the market. But where does a layman like you or me start? To answer this question, we have invited our distinguished speaker for today, Mr. Yazdi Tantra. So, Mr. Tantra brings a unique blend of expertise to the discussion today. He is not only a chartered accountant by training, but also a computer consultant by profession, a dedicated trainer, a passionate developer, and an entrepreneur. He is also the chairman of the Zoroastrian Cooperative Bank and a member of the governing board of Pathak Education Trust. Furthermore, he's also been at the helm of the medium-sized computer company Online for the past 3 decades. Through Online, he has spearheaded the development of websites, portals, payment gateways, and has provided top-notch computer hardware sales and service. Mr. Tantra firmly believes in the transformative power of technology to enhance workplace productivity, and today he will share his insights on how artificial intelligence in particular can play a pivotal role in achieving this goal. So let's get ready to get inspired and enlightened. Over the next hour, we'll delve into the world of AI, explore how it can improve your productivity, and discover the potential applications in various aspects of our lives. Before I hand it over to Mr. Tantra, I encourage you to make the most of this opportunity. Feel free to engage, ask questions, and actively participate in today's session. While we'll not be taking questions when the session is live, we do have a Q&A session at the end. So do pay close attention to the tips, tricks, and practical examples that Mr. Tantra will be sharing today. Before proceeding further, allow me to share some ground rules for today's session. We have kept all of you on mute for the benefit of all involved and will only unmute you during the Q&A session. For optimal viewing, we suggest that you keep the webinar on speaker view. This meeting is being recorded and shall be uploaded to our YouTube channel, Moneylife TV. During the Q&A session, please use the raise hands button that is available on Zoom if you wish to ask any questions. Also, a sincere request to please keep your questions short and to the point. Please feel free to use the chat section to raise your comments, questions, and observations, but do send it only to the public forum, marking everyone. Please do not send us a private message as we will not be able to monitor while the session is live. Please also note that your cameras may be on by default and you could be broadcasting your background and homes for everyone to see. So if you wish to maintain your privacy, you can turn off your cameras now. And now, without taking any more time, may I request Mr. Tantra to please take over and start his presentation. Over to you, sir.
Good evening and welcome to this session. These techies, they always come out with new buzzwords to scare us all. So suddenly they got this buzzword called artificial intelligence and they scare us. But there is nothing really great in terms of artificial or in terms of intelligence, because even your calculator does something like artificial intelligence. You know 1 + 1 is 2 and your calculator also knows it. And all the time you are able to use your equipment more as a extension of your brain rather than anything else. So AI is always looked at it as an extension of the brain. As Akshay mentioned, I would also like to add to the ground rules and modify. If you have something to ask relevant to the topic that I am covering or the actual act that I am covering, you can type it in the chat box and you can immediately get a response from me. That is number one. The second thing is, of course, I don't know everything. So you'll have to bear with me. If I don't have answers, I'll have to say sorry. So what we have to expect from this session is that we have a broad overview of different ways in which AI can be used and which is also being used right now. From a layman's point of view, we will not be technical. We will not be very deep into the subject. It's a very, very huge area. So we cannot cover everything. But whatever we cover will be interesting, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. So let us start with the basics. As I said, AI is your brain outside your body. Okay. And this is the boring definition of AI. I'll give you 20 seconds to just run through this. Okay, so what we have been talking about, whenever we wanted to search anything online, we used Google. If you remember, I would say not so far back, Google was the in thing and we could search anything on Google, right? Now AI is for a deeper search. You get more human-like questions and answers. So what it does is it listens to your query, either oral, written, or visual. It processes the information available online and it responds with human-like answers. It can also manipulate and generate images. It can also manipulate and generate voice. So AI is used extensively in IoT, that is Internet of Things, self-driving cars, medicine, engineering, architecture, and for fun. So we have already been using AI for a while. So now is the time for a giant leap for AI. So let's just run through where you have already been using AI, and we will cover a few other areas also. Please tell me in the chat if the audio is not on.
Every day, AI helps people with their personal lives, jobs, transportation, education, health, and more, maybe even without them realizing it. Here are some examples of AI in action on a typical day. In the morning, a teenager wakes up and uses facial recognition to unlock her phone. She scrolls through social media feeds to see what's new. Then she asks the voice assistant on her phone what the weather is going to be like that day so she knows how to dress for school. A college student uses an app on his phone to deposit a birthday check from his grandmother. He takes a photo of the check and the app automatically reads the handwriting to figure out the amount. It then deposits it into his account. Meanwhile, a younger student uses a different app that is teaching her a new language. The app listens to what she says and can recognize what she's saying even if she makes mistakes. The app then gives her personalized feedback on her pronunciation. At the same time, a person gets in their car to go to work, and the navigation system plans the fastest route based on current traffic. In the car, they listen to a music streaming service, which already knows what types of songs they like based on what they listened to before. When a factory worker arrives at her job, she sees that, as usual, humans and robots are both assembling cars. The robots do some of the more dangerous or repetitive tasks, like welding or painting. AI helps the robots recognize the tools they need to pick up or check parts to make sure they have been cut exactly right. When the cars are completed, computers help manage inventory and plan efficient shipping routes to deliver them around the world. Now, meet a farmer who's checking on her crops. She notices that some of her plants look unhealthy. She pulls out her smartphone and uses an app to take a photo of the leaves. The app can detect crop disease and also identify harmful insects. The app identifies the problem and recommends treatment. A surgeon is using AI to help make a medical diagnosis for a patient, and then a robot helps her perform a successful surgery. Afterwards, she goes to visit patients in a nursing home, where robots gently lift seniors in and out of bed and help them move around. In the meantime, a traveler needs to book a flight to another city. An automated customer service chatbot helps him book his ticket on the phone. Once he's on board, autopilot flies the plane for much of the flight. AI is even used in space. On the International Space Station, an astronaut talks to a free-floating robot that helps with chores and does jobs that are risky for humans. Now that you've learned about how other people use AI every day, think about how you use it. Spend a few minutes thinking about this question. What are 3 ways that you or someone you know uses AI? Every day, AI helps people.
So can you think of some tasks? Can you just type in the chat box some tasks which you have already been using AI? Quick. ChatGPT, Grammarly, navigation. Yes. Anyone else? For agreements, autocomplete and transcription, translations, transliteration. Yes. So we have always been using AI knowingly or unknowingly without the big buzzwords. Alexa is a very good example of AI. Google Home is a good example of AI. Reminders, calendars, Merlin, yeah, image recognition, etc., etc. So typically, as we move ahead, Word, Gmail, cell phones, everyone has autocomplete in some way or the other. Google and Microsoft, they know what you want to say, how you want to say it, what is the right spelling, what is the right context, what is the right grammar. And we are all used to predictive text. Sometimes it can be irritating also, but that's how it is. So we have always been using AI in these areas, right? Now let us see what we have been doing in Excel. Excel is something where AI has been in use for quite a while. Yeah, is there any difficulty in audio? Anyone else has a problem? Audio is fine?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Okay, thanks. So Excel has been in use for a very long time. AI has been infiltrating Excel for a very long time. So we'll just quickly see a few things which have been in Excel and which we also can incorporate in Excel. So for the accountants and lay users, we all know how autofill works. You can see my Excel screen. Yeah. So typically when we enter something in Excel, we are entering a series like this continuously. We just select the first 2 and Excel knows what you are going to write next, correct? You just drag it and it fills all your serial numbers or something like this. Or if you want odd numbers, you just press 1 and 3 and then you just select these 2 and draw it down and you get all odd number series. If you want dates, months, all these are very, very easy to do in Excel. It has been there for a while. Like if you say 1st January and you say 2nd January, so Excel knows that you are entering a series of dates and you can enter all the dates in one shot. If you say 1st January and 8th January, so you want a weekly interval, even there Excel will immediately understand what you are trying to do. So Excel has been doing this for a while. This is a weekly interval, right? Now let us see what happens if you say 1st January and 1st February. What is the interval? It will understand you are trying to take the first of each date. It is not 31 days. So it is taking the first of each date. So intelligently, it is managing the whole show, right? So it could be dates, it could be days of the week, it could be like Monday, Tuesday, and then the remaining will automatically come. We know all this. It's been there for a while. Or it could be months, it could be January, February, etc., etc. Apart from this, is a very common thing in Excel, autofill. There is something called flash fill, where Excel also understands what you are trying to do. Suppose in this particular series of email IDs, I want to extract only the first name. So I write the first name here, and then I write the first few characters of the second name. Now you see the entire series is automatically filled. You just press enter and the whole thing is there for you. I can do it in multiple ways. I can say capital, then next one, I start with this and I just press enter. So autofill is also very, very powerful. Or you can even say, you can enter some text in between. You can say Arnab works for Republic. When I just type the first character of the next cell, it automatically understands what you are trying to do and it is projecting what exactly you wanted to say, right? So this is already there. We have been using it for a while. Now let us see one more area. Now this is a simple spreadsheet that we have here. We have some random years, category, and some products and some sales of each category. Now typically, if you had to do something or you have to manipulate this data, you have to know a lot of things in Excel. You should know pivot tables, you should know how to handle it, etc., etc. But now Excel gives us something very simple called analyze data. If you can see on the top right, there is something called analyze data, right? So we just click on analyze data. Now what Excel does is it helps you analyze the data. First of all, it knows that you want to analyze data in this table. If there are multiple tables, obviously you will have to select the table. So it gives you some suggested questions also. Percentage of total sales for each category. So if you ask this question, percentage of total sales in each category, it gives you the sum of sales in each category. Very simple. And you say insert, you can insert this chart into you have not written a single formula, you have not gone to the menu. Automatically, it has analyzed and given you the data. Suppose you want to say, I don't know Excel. I don't have any information on what to do, what formula to fill. So I just ask a question. What are the unique products in each category? You see the answer is there. In components, there are 2 unique products. In hardware, there are 2 unique products. And in spares, there are. So automatically, it is calculating. You are just writing in plain English. Okay. Which category sold most in 2021? So it is going to this checking which are the categories which are selling in 2021, which are the categories which are sold most. Now, I am doing a example which has only 10 rows, but imagine this whole thing could have 1,000 rows. You can ask a simple question and you can get your answers. I'm not using any formulas. I'm not touching the menu also. So you can analyze the data, which is very, very simply done by Excel. Which product sold least in 2022? Are we clear on this? This is so simple to handle. So there is something called analyze data. You will see it in Microsoft 365. If you have it, the latest version, this is automatically inbuilt into your Excel format. So this is very simple. Also, Excel allows you to capture data from the web. So suppose we go to a sheet. I have just taken one sample. I'll just close this. And I am just going to, I have taken some statistical website where some projected GDP ranking is there. And there are some charts, there is some text, and there are some tables, right? Now you want to capture this data into Excel. So what you will do is you just copy the link here. Then I go back to Excel, go to any cell. Now I say data, import from the web. It takes a little time. And there I have to give, it gives me a warning that you are taking data from the web. And I have to give the link to that data. The minute I give the link, it goes, analyzes that web page, and it gives me the tables which are suggested in that web page. It analyzes the entire page. It says these are the two tables which are there. So I can go to GDP in nominal ranking. You can see the page out here. And if you like what you see, you can just say load. You can just load the page and bang, it is there in your Excel. You don't have to type it out again. You don't have to do anything for this. The entire data is there, nicely formatted as a table. You have your filters, etc., etc. You can create whatever you want. This is really cool. This is done in a very, very systematic way. Are you getting this? Any questions here? You can import data from the web directly. You can import data from text also. Like if you have an image, you have a newspaper article, you have a book, you have a journal which you are researching, you can see that. You can just import the data directly from the image, or you can directly import the data from the web. So these are some of the things which Excel already does, and it has been doing for a very long time. This is also to a great extent artificial intelligence. It is understanding what is there and grabbing what you need in the format in which you need it. Then, of course, there are lots of add-ins which are available where you can just go to the add-in. There is an AI aided formula editor. If you know how to use add-ins, you can use the AI-aided formula editor. Here, you can even ask questions. Just like you ask the questions, you can ask questions in a different way. You can type in which country is the maximum GDP, nominal GDP, which is the best rank, etc., etc. You can straight away ask these questions. And then there is, of course, there is a specialist here where you can go to something called Formula Bot, which helps you in defining formulas in Excel. This is an add-in which you can straight away use in Excel. This is a paid add-in. But you see the power here. So you can even say, ask questions like this. Can you help me average column A? So it gives you the formula immediately. What is the sentiment of cell B12? It says it is positive. Which product drove the most sales last week? It says we just 500. So you can straight away get all this information right there without knowing a word of Excel, without knowing a word of how to use formulas, how to use the menu, how to use Excel at all. So this is very, very powerful. So we have been using AI in Word, we have been using AI in Excel also. Now let us go to what AI revolution actually all started with. It started with something called ChatGPT. So ChatGPT was something which it starts somewhere here. You just click on this chat.openai.com. There are limited number of questions you can ask, but you can ask a variety of questions and you can get, so you can brainstorm names, you can help you study, it can give you ideas, it can show you a code snippet. We'll see how to use each of these. So suppose we take a very simple example, write a tagline for a local chemical trading unit. I want to write 5 taglines. So I want a tagline for something. So instantly, virtually instantly, it gives you the taglines for something like this. Or you can write a story, or you can write a poem. You can write anything. This is the very basic elementary thing which you can do. So you can say, write a poem on Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, this is really cool. You can ask it to do anything, virtually anything. There are certain limitations. There is ChatGPT version 3, which is there. ChatGPT version 4 is there, which is a paid version. So you can even go to higher and higher versions. But this is a very basic manipulation of text. Then we come to, or you can even regenerate. You don't like this poem. So you can say regenerate and it will write another poem. And remember, there is no copyright on this. This is automatically generated. So you can use this in your text, you can use it in your writing, you can use it to publish whatever you want to publish. And it is as simple as just giving instructions in text. Are we clear on this? Can you just give me your responses in the chat box so that I know are we very fast? Are we very slow?
No, it's clear. It's wonderful.
Okay. So this is a very basic that you can do with ChatGPT. But this is all just text. Okay. Now let us see what we can do with images. Images also started with something called DALI, which is labs.openai.com. So here also you can just say what you want. Oh, we forgot who I am. Okay, so I'll log in with my Microsoft account. It needs an account to start with. So you can start with any description and it will draw an image for you. Again, this is an original image. It is not searched from the web and it is not given to you from somewhere, so that there is no copyright on these images. This is very, very simple. So I can say, I want to draw a cruise ship. And I say enter. This is again very, very creative. This will draw a cruise ship. Great. I can say, now I can say a very detailed description. I can say draw Warli art in impressionist format. Now Warli art everybody knows. And how it would look if it is in an impressionist format. Let's see what. Now Warli art is something very out of the way, right? But still, how it can be drawn in an impressionist format. Great. I can ask for any image. I can say Taj Mahal. Now, see, this is a very interesting. I can say Taj Mahal by Van Gogh. How Van Gogh would have drawn Taj Mahal? In between, it gives you quite interesting quotes while it is working. Okay, so Van Gogh would have drawn Taj Mahal like this. But then I am not very happy with this. I can say, how would Taj Mahal be drawn by M.F. Hussain? Can you see the difference in the styles? Each one is a different style, and M.F. Hussein's style has been taken and planted here. Now, this is the beauty of Dali. Again, there are limited credits. It has to be refreshed every few months, and that is how it works. So, Dali is something where you can create images, original images, which are royalty free, absolutely royalty free. Yes, it is available for free, but only for a few images. And then it says here you have 6 credits left, and 15 free credits will refill at so and so today, or you can buy more credits. So if you are a regular artist or you want to create images on a regular basis, you can do it or you can pay for it. But if it is once in a while, you can do it very free, and it is available for free. So the link is labs.openai.com. Okay. But don't worry, there are lots more where we will understand. Now comes the big daddy, and that is Bing. Now, Bing is something, Bing a browser and search engine has been there for a very, very long time. The browser was Internet Explorer earlier, and now it is Edge. And if you use Bing, now you go to the website bing.com. Just as you go to google.com, you can go to bing.com. Now see the power of AI. Of course, search is always there. It says, ask me anything. But you can even ask questions like this. I need to throw a dinner party for 6 people who are vegetarian. What should be the menu? I am planning a trip for our anniversary in September. What are the places we can go that are within 3-hour flight from London? You can ask virtually anything. So I go to chat. Here there are 2 things. One is search and second is chat. Now, this is the real power of AI. It is an AI-powered co-pilot for the web. You can choose the conversation style. It can be creative, it can be balanced, it can be very precise. So you can ask anything. So for example, let me start with something very mundane. I'm saying, write a letter to your boss apologizing for a grave mistake. So he has also given an apology letter. He has started the points that you should cover, and then he has actually written a letter for you. The link is bing.com. Just go to bing.com, B-I-N-G. Just read this. It's a very, very simple letter, and you can copy it, paste it in Word or in your email, and you can make necessary changes. But your basic thing is written automatically. This is really, really very good. Can you see this? He is saying first tips and a sample letter. So these are the tips. You start with a formal greeting, express your remorse, take responsibility, express how you are addressing the situation, and close with a positive note. And he has actually drafted a letter for you. Okay. Now let's try image. So I'm saying create a 3D picture of a kangaroo. And let's see. First, let us see if you can create a 3D picture of a kangaroo. Now, this is again a chat, so it is interactive. We're giving you a brief description of a kangaroo from Wikipedia. And then it is generating an image for you. Yes, you can get the cheapest flights. Okay, now you can pick up any image, copy paste, and use it in text or use it in whatever you want. Now, again, see here it is saying powered by DALI. This is what we. Now, I can start the conversation with it and I can say, can you make it look like a cartoon? I'm refining my query. I didn't say kangaroo at all. Now I'm actually chatting with the AI. So I'm saying, you've drawn a kangaroo for me. Make it look like a cartoon. Okay, so now kangaroo looking like a cartoon has come up. I can say add a beach in the background. So I can play with it endlessly till I get what exactly I want. Wow, there's a beach in the background. You can do whatever. Can you add a palm tree? How do I color it myself? You want to change the color? You want to add text? Anything you can do with this image. So this is another way of using AI on Bing. Now I am going to visit Surat next week. So I said, what is the rating of Hotel Lodge Plaza in Surat? This is a real life situation. So it is giving the rating, web rating, where it is located, what does it have. So I don't have to search for Lodge Plaza on the net and then start looking at various things. So where all he's picking it up from, he is showing it to you. These are the 3 sites which it is looking at. It is also giving you the location. It is giving you the internal pictures, external pictures, everything. Okay. Let's see something very archaic but interesting. I am saying write a script for a play about a woodcutter saving a child in the style of Shakespeare. Now see how much it understands. This is not something which is available online, right? So it is looking at the Shakespeare style, then it is writing a script for a play and giving you a brief background. Now read the script very carefully. Yeah, I really love this. The way it creates something out of air. Now you can say, I want the play to be only 5 minutes, I want the play to be 15 minutes, whatever. What the child says, what the woodcutter says, etc., etc. You get the idea? Now let us see if I can even look for something which is a little more. I'm telling it to find or to create a table. Now see this very simply. Create a table that analyzes public funding for health as compared to GDP. Okay, this is my query. So it has to pick up from multiple sources. So what is the percentage of expenditure on health based on the GDP? It is looking up multiple sites. It is giving you all the references. Are you seeing the references? So now it has created an entire table, which you will see. And it knows I am talking from India. So it is giving India as one of the countries. This is really, yes, the questions can be in local languages also. Can you see how easy it is? I did not go to Google, search this, search that, look for this, look for that, and then create a table. It creates a table very, very quickly. And now this is the ultimate. I am asking Bing, read this query. Write a program in HTML and JavaScript. Read this carefully. To compute compound interest having 3 input boxes, one for principal, one for interest rate per year, and one for period in years. So I'm asking it to actually write a program in JavaScript. I don't know JavaScript. So it will find out how to write the program. He has taken my parameters that I have to have principal, I have to have rate of interest, and I have to get the period. And he is also telling me the logic. This is the formula that he will use, and he is writing the sample program. He is writing the actual program. Okay, and this is all without my knowledge of ChatGPT. So what I have to do is I have to just copy and paste this. I've done this before, so to save time, so that I don't have to. And it's also understands that I would like the result with 2 decimal places. Okay, so I have to just copy it, paste it in an HTML file, which I have already done, and I will put it here. And this is how the interest calculator will look like, and I can try it out. I want to say 10,000 rupees interest rate per year is 10%, period in years is 5 years, calculate, and the compound interest is 6,105. Can you see how powerful this is? It can write an actual program for you. You just have to put it in plain English. What the question was, very simple. What was the question? I said, write a program in HTML and JavaScript to compute compound interest. And I gave the input parameters also. It should have principal, it should have interest rate, and it should have period in years. And it wrote the entire program. Can you beat that? This is really interesting. Now, a lot of questions. Can we do this? Can we do that? Try it out yourself, and you will be amazed to find the solutions yourself. It's very, very powerful. So Bing is something which incorporates ChatGPT DALL-E, and a lot more. So it is very powerful. The only way to do it is simply just click on Bing.com. Once you go on Bing.com, go to chat. Don't go to search. Go to chat on the top left. And when you go to chat, you will come up with this. And you can ask anything. Okay? Ask me anything. Either you take a new topic or you can continue with your earlier topics also. And you can choose the conversation style. You can say creative, balanced, or precise. So this is the power of Bing that is now taking the world by storm. Now, if Bing does it, Google also will do it. So Google has something called bard.google.com. Okay, so you can ask anything to Bard also. They have their own disclaimers. See, they have the disclaimer saying it is an experiment. I am your creative and helpful collaborator. I have limitations and won't always get it right, but your feedback will help me improve. So it learns while we are discussing. So I can say which are the best hybrid cars in India in 2023. So it will scan the entire web and it will get the results. I don't have to go to multiple websites. It is giving me the references, but it is showing me what are the considerations, how do I select the car, and which are the possible, some of the best hybrid cars in India today. Okay. I can say, suggest a consultant for a shoe manufacturing unit in Orissa. I'm just randomly, I'm asking a question. It is giving you the consultants for and what all you should consider while selecting a consultant is all there. Or I can simply ask it to type a letter, cancel my air tickets and ask for a refund. Now here he has given the steps. He has not actually written the letter, but I can say, write a letter. If I say write a letter, I just said cancel your air tickets and ask for a refund. So he's given me the points which I have to consider, but I can even say, write a letter canceling your air tickets and ask for a refund. So Bard is as good as Google. Sometimes one does better than the other, and that is fine. That is not an issue at all. Are we clear on this? So Bing and Bard, these are the two guys who are taking the world by storm. They are picking up information from the www, from the World Wide Web, analyzing it and presenting it to you in a way in which you can use it. So AI is also there on your phone. Your search bar on Bing has a chat in the bottom center. And Google also, the search bar can be used as a, and here once you click on the chat bar, it will say welcome to the new Bing. And then again, all these things, you can just play with it, create a song, give me a tongue twister, etc., etc. So it's already there on your phone. Only thing is you have to discover it. And that is the beauty of it. Now, these are both generalists, that Bing and Bard are generalists. Now, these are specialists. So for writing, I have selected a couple of, there are hundreds of these available. I have selected just a couple. So there is something called Writer, Ryter. So when you go to writer, it can write emails, it can write blogs for you, it can write Facebook ads, landing page copies, Instagram copies, product descriptions, blah, 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 story plots, whatever you want to do, it can write for you. So you just click on start writing. This fellow is a specialist now. So here you can say which language you want to write, which tone you want to write, what you want to write, and how many variants you want. See, now it is getting more precise. Can you see this now? I am saying write an email to an airline asking for a refund for a cancelled trip. And I want the tone to be funny. There are so many tones: appreciative, assertive, awestruck, candid, casual, cautionary. I selected funny and I say write for me. And I want two variants. So if I don't like one, I can. Now this fellow will start writing the letter. Now see this. Subject also is funny. My trip took off without me. And if you read this for a couple of minutes, you will find that the entire tone is very different. Now, if you say, I want an aggressive tone, you can get into an aggressive tone also. But your letter is ready in one shot. It just takes few seconds to create a. Isn't this great? There are, again, all these people, they have few free stuff and then few items which are. Now, the question is, how is it significantly different from what we used to call search engine? The search engine used to just give you the links to the websites and then you have to figure out on your own. Here, it actually does the work for you. That is the difference. What artificial intelligence does is it actually goes and does the work for you. You are just saying, write an email in a funny tone to an airline asking for a refund for a cancelled trip. So it is very, very, very elaborate. Now you can say, I want a blog idea, I want a brand name, I want a business pitch, business ideas, call to action, copywriting, cover letter, email, Facebook, Google search ads, interview questions, job description. I can create a CV, product description, profile bio. I can say these are my qualifications. These are, yes, it makes us lazy. That is our tagline: simple, smart, and lazy. You can have a question answer session, SEO meta description, song lyrics, story plot. You see a range of stuff which you can create. Very, very powerful, extremely powerful. So writer is something, it is rytr.me, or if you just type rytr, you will get, this is the name of the website. Then there is something called free AI writer. Now this is also very, very simple. You can just say, write an advertising copy, or you can write lots and lots of things. There are templates available. From your dashboard, you just click on the AI assistant and select short form or long form, or choose an output language and tone and complete the prompt and then say generate, and it will generate the text. All this is, yeah, for a few, this thing, everywhere you can go and look at the pricing. So what is free is you can get 2000 free words. You can buy additional credits. When you go for pro, you get $12 per month, 35,000 words, and you can try it for free for 14 days. So it can automatically do the donkey work for you. And you get professional quality output. Audio. I think we are already using otter.ai right now. What these tools do, I am just covering a few, but all these tools, what they do is they listen to the audio and they convert it into text. So you don't need to write minutes of the meeting. Suppose Otter is just now, can you just put the link again? I saw that link coming up. So Otter, Fireflies, Grain, all these, what they do is they sit in the meeting, they listen to everything, And then if it is a group meeting, it can say, it can even transcribe who said what are the action points, what are the key points. See, now this Akshay has put this author link. What it does is it will summarize the key points, what are the to-dos, what are the final list, etc. Yes, you can record it in multiple languages also. You'll have to see each one for its capabilities, but these are some of the audio tools which you can use. I like this audio pen a lot. Now, audio pen is something again unique. What it does is you can just speak out your thoughts randomly and it will organize them in a way in which it is acceptable, or you can write a small summary. So I can virtually go from fuzzy thought to clear text immediately. So let me see if I can randomly put something and how it will organize my thoughts. So I will now start dictating to audio pen. I want to start writing a travel blog. It should include my travels to all continents of the world, one continent in each quarter. I should be writing about the uniqueness of the people, the culture, their food habits, their clothing, and it should also include videos of scenic places on location. Of course, the local cost of food, travel, and clothing should be exposed. My mode of travel to that place and the experience during that travel should also be included. Now it has recorded what all I had said. It is transcribing the whole thing and it will rewrite whatever I said in a format in which I can use it. You see, this is very, very interesting. So you're going from fuzzy thought. I just randomly spoke a few sentences. And it has reorganized the text. It has summarized the whole thing in one para. And if you see, here it has also given a title. And if you see the original transcript, it was all random stuff. It has summarized it in a very beautiful way. So I can just talk to it and summarize my thoughts. It's very, very cool. So audio, there are multiple tools, otter.ai, fireflies.ai, audio pen, etc., etc. It can do a wonderful job. You can create music using AI. But this also, I will skip it fast because we are running short of time now. So you can create royalty-free music that elevates your story. So you can say, select a, how you do it, you select a genre or style, you can make some cuts, change the mood and compose, and you can start creating your music automatically. It's very, very powerful. Again, audio, music, videos. Next is, of course, images and videos. So the simplest is what we have been using for a very long time. It is called remove.bg, remove background. So what you do is you just upload an image and it will help you remove the background. So I will just upload an image. It will remove the background. This was the image I uploaded, and this is without the background. I can download it and I can do whatever I want to do it. I can add a design, I can put some background, I can cut it, paste it, whatever. It's as simple as that. My original was with so much of clutter behind. My after removal, the background is this. So it is a very simple website. It's called remove.bg. This is totally free. Okay. Then there is an expert here, ZMO.ai. Now ZMO.ai does much more. This can not only remove, but it can change the background of various stuff. It has a remover app. You can remove stuff, whatever is there in the picture. You can have multiple models wearing multiple clothes. and you can get them to change clothes, etc., etc. So this guy is a specialist in art generating for creators from images. You must have an image in the beginning, and you can straight away remove the background. Expression camera is something very interesting. What it does is you can pick an image and then make faces, and this image will do exactly what you are doing. Okay, and if you are talking on Zoom, if you are talking on Google Meet, you can video chat without the webcam. This girl is actually doing something and she's talking, and what the people see is this on the screen. She has selected her image and she can be doing her work, and the image will do all the facial expressions, etc., depending on what sort of an image has been selected. But this is also very, very powerful. She can do whatever she wants to do while doing something else. And of course, if you want to create images like this or videos like this is called Runway. Can you see the images it is creating? If you go to runwayml.com, again, this is machine learning. It can create images. And if you see the product description, it is turning any text prompt or image into a piece of film. Can you see on the left bottom, it is saying what it is doing. You can just type it, I want waves splashing around, I want a waterfall. You can just type that and you can get a video of that immediately. You can turn any image, video clip or text prompt into a piece of film. You can create a film. You can create text to image to image. So one image you select and you can have multiple variations of the same image. Infinite image. So you have a small image and you start moving your cursor and you can create everything around it. In painting, you can say, I don't want some stuff in a particular place, and you can just remove it. Just select it and remove it. Okay, so there are lots and lots of, and you can create stuff like this, what we saw earlier. We can create videos like this just by giving text prompts. Extremely powerful. But we have to be careful because then there are lots of faking images also going the rounds, like Joe Biden, Microsoft, Bill Gates. They had entire conversations, their voice was taped, and then AI was made to actually superimpose, and you put text and whatever they speak will be in their voice, and they could superimpose it for videos which were going viral. There was a lot of furore on the internet on this. I'm not running these because
I've
going
seen
to
it
take a
many
little
times.
time. Then there are presentations and websites. So this one I liked a lot. It's called tome.app, Tome. So what it does is you can just give one prompt and it will create an entire presentation. So what I did is for banking, I just wrote one line. I said, I want to raise capital for a small cooperative bank. Make a presentation for that. So now see what it has done. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know anything. So now he has given a title. And then all the slides introducing our bank, the need for fresh capital, investment opportunity, growth strategy, what is the advantage of cooperative, and join our cooperative movement. And all the text and images, it has created everything on its own. I have not said anything. I have just said that I am a small cooperative bank and I want to raise capital. Make a presentation for that. So it talks about what is a cooperative bank, what we are, why we need fresh capital, what is the investment opportunity, what is the growth strategy, how will it help us, why do you need to invest in a cooperative bank, and this is the final call to action: join our cooperative movement. Fantastic it is. Just one single line. Okay, I just had to say, make a presentation for a cooperative bank to raise fresh capital. That's it. And it has given you the whole thing right. So there is something called free AI presentation maker. Again, you can generate a presentation in seconds. There is called a framer, which can even actually create a website. You just give a text and it will create a website for you. It is really amazing. You can say, I want to do this thing. I want to create a website for a law firm. I want to create a website for a chartered accountancy firm. Whatever you say, it will create a website for you immediately. I'm just giving you an overview in terms of what all it can do, because there is a huge lot of material. Like every now and then, people will tell you how to write prompts, how to make which is the best one to create website. Of course, AI also works on cars.
Imagine you're riding in the car to the store and nobody's driving. As crazy as it might sound, there really are cars that can drive themselves.
Hello, my name is Justina. I'm working as an engineer at NVIDIA in autonomous driving.
Justina knows all about self-driving cars because she helps make them.
A self-driving car is basically a car that is going to perform all your tasks for you. So it's going to enable you to be transported from place A to place B without you having to engage.
Justina and engineers at NVIDIA are developing supercomputers using artificial intelligence that enable the cars to be self-driving. The computers are what make the cars be able to drive by themselves safely. But how can a car do so much by itself? Self-driving cars can basically see and sense everything around them by using sensors, which are like eyes and ears for the car. The sensors collect all the information the car needs in order to drive safely.
On a typical self-driving car today, you have a variety of sensors, and they include a camera. There is a LiDAR sensor, which is laser-based, and then there is a radar sensor, and then you typically also have type of a GPS that is going to help you out with geolocation.
The cameras can see and hear. The LiDAR can sense how far away objects are, and GPS tells the car where it is on Earth. There are a lot of sensors on these cars that enable them to see and sense 360 degrees. For example, if you were riding in a self-driving car and a dog ran in front of you, the car would be able to sense the dog and any other cars or objects nearby. Then, the car's supercomputer would be able to process all of the information and make the safest decision on how to react as fast as possible.
When you are driven in this car, there is so much information from the sensor coming in that the supercomputer has to process all this information real time. Otherwise, it wouldn't figure how to drive you safely.
So how exactly does AI help make this happen?
A self-driving car needs artificial intelligence because it's extremely complicated to process all the data that are coming in from the sensors and yet in real time.
Artificial intelligence is able to process a lot of information at once because it can multitask very well. The computer can process information in parallel, meaning it can understand all the information from many different sensors at the same time. And self-driving cars can even share the information they gather with other cars. This means they can learn from each other. So the more self-driving cars on the road, the smarter they can be. Self-driving cars are not just cool, they're helpful for the world and will make the roads safer and help people from all walks of life.
Everybody who is nowadays not able to drive by themselves because of various conditions that they have, they now don't have to worry about it. For example, blind people. They wouldn't be able to drive in their own car today. But when they use autonomous car, they just get in and the car is going to figure everything for them.
Self-driving cars will be able to help anyone get where they need to go. Do you want to think like an engineer and prototype your own computer to
So this is something which is also very fascinating. The computer in the car is managing millions of things at a time, and coming to the right conclusions. So when it sees a stone, it knows how big it is, whether you can drive over it, or whether you have to go around it, or whether you have to stop just before it. So all these decisions, even much better and much faster than a human being, they are taking those decisions. Now, medicine, a whole lot of stuff is being done in medicine. You don't have time to go through the whole thing, but there is patient care, there is research, administrative tasks, and medical education, which is being done by AI. And just listen to what Sundar Pichai has to say on medicine. In fact, a lot of advances have been made in terms of analyzing the DNA of people and then creating personalized medicine. So the same medicine is not prescribed to multiple people with the same condition. They will be getting personalized medicine in the near future. Let's quickly look at this clip.
Last year at Google I/O, we announced Google AI. It's a collection of our teams and efforts to bring the benefits of AI to everyone. And we want this to work globally, so we are opening AI centers around the world. AI is going to impact many, many fields. And I want to give you a couple of examples today. Healthcare is one of the most important fields AI is going to transform. Last year, we announced our work on diabetic retinopathy, which is a leading cause of blindness, and we use deep learning to help doctors diagnose it earlier. And we've been running field trials since then at Aravind and Sankara hospitals in India, and the field trials are going really well. We are bringing expert diagnosis to places where trained doctors are scarce. It turned out, using the same retinal scans, there were things which humans quite didn't know to look for, but our AI systems offered more insights. Your same eye scan turns out holds information with which we can predict the 5-year risk of you having an adverse cardiovascular event, heart attack or strokes. So to me, the interesting thing is that, more than what doctors could find in these eye scans, the machine learning systems offered newer insights. This could be the basis for a new non-invasive way to detect cardiovascular risk. And we just published the research, and we are going to be working to bring this to field trials with our partners. Another area where AI can help is to actually help doctors predict medical events. Turns out doctors have a lot of difficult decisions to make, and for them, getting advance notice, say 24 to 48 hours before a patient is likely to get very sick, has a tremendous difference in the outcome. And so we put our machine learning systems to work. We've been working with our partners using de-identified medical records. And it turns out if you go and analyze over 100,000 data points per patient, more than any single doctor could analyze, we can actually quantitatively predict the chance of readmission 24 to 48 hours before, earlier than traditional methods. It gives doctors more time to act. We are publishing our paper on this later today, and we are looking forward to partnering with hospitals and medical institutions.
Okay, so that was in the medical field. A lot of material is happening in the legal field. There is one very interesting website in the USA which does something very, very interesting. It is called Lex Machina. What it does is it predicts the behavior of courts, judges, lawyers, and parties with legal analytics. So what it does is it analyzes the past cases with similar circumstances. Of course, it cannot be 100%, but they know which judge is inclined to give which decision, and they can actually predict the behavior of courts and judges and lawyers with analytics. So they have 1 million cases, and they can straight away predict what they have quick tools, parties comparator, then courts and judges comparator, how many years this particular judge has been there, how many judgments he has given, and when is he going to retire and how many judgments is he going to give, which law firms have won how many cases, all sorts of things which otherwise was impossible. The human being could not do anything of this scale. It is a very interesting website. Go through it. If you are a lawyer, it might be very useful for you. Then in India, there is something called India AI, which is a government website which has lots of resources where work is being done on AI, especially on the legal side. You can just go to indiaai.gov.in, right? And then there are other things like Supreme Court portal is there for assistance in court efficiency. This is not available to the general public. It is only available to the Supreme Court and high courts, where they analyze, the system analyzes the pending cases, and then it clubs similar cases and helps judges to pick up which cases meant to be taken, and they can club the cases and come up with judgments in lump sum. There is another translation software, SUAS, which is doing Supreme Court Vidik Anuvad software, which is doing a lot of work in terms of translating the judgments from English to local languages. Most of these are initiatives by IIT Kharagpur. And then AI is always been used in space travel, economics, stock market, accident testing, pilot training, construction. You can just put all the information that you have, chemical reactions, and know what the outcome will be, especially crash testing for vehicles, space travel. You know all the parameters. You can just feed it into the computer and then get an outcome without actually doing that. Okay? This is something which is very, very powerful. And what is coming up, this is the last clip I want to share with you before we end.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Google I/O. It's great to see so many of you here at Shoreline, so many developers, and a huge thanks to the millions joining from around the world, from Bangladesh to Brazil to our new Bayview campus right next door. It's so great to have you as always. As you may have heard, AI is having a very busy year. So we've got lots to talk about. Let's get started. 7 years into our journey as an AI-first company, we are at an exciting inflection point. We have an opportunity to make AI even more helpful for people, for businesses, for communities, for everyone. We've been applying AI to make our products radically more helpful for a while. With generative AI, we are taking the next step. With a bold and responsible approach, we are reimagining all our core products, including search. You will hear more later in the keynote. Let me start with a few examples of how generative AI is helping to evolve our products, starting with Gmail. In 2017, we launched Smart Reply, short responses you could select with just one click. Next came Smart Compose, which offered writing suggestions as you type. Smart Compose led to more advanced writing features powered by AI. They've been used in Workspace over 180 billion times in the past year alone. And now with a much more powerful generative model, we are taking the next step in Gmail with Help Me Write. Let's say you got this email that your flight was canceled. The airline has sent a voucher, but what you really want is a full refund. You could reply and use Help Me Write. Just type in the prompt of what you want, an email to ask for a full refund, hit create, and a full draft appears. As you can see, it conveniently pulled in flight details from the previous email. And it looks pretty close to what you want to send. Maybe you want to refine it further. In this case, a more elaborate email might increase the chances of getting the refund. And there you go. I think it's ready to send. Help Me Write will start rolling out as part of our workspace updates. And just like with Smart Compose, you will see it get better over time. The next example is maps. Since the early days of Street View, AI has stitched together billions of panoramic images so people can explore the world from their device. At last year's I/O, we introduced Immersive View, which uses AI to create a high-fidelity representation of a place so you can experience it before you visit. Now we are expanding that same technology to do what Maps does best: help you get where you want to go. Google Maps provides 20 billion kilometers of directions every day. That's a lot of trips. Imagine if you could see your whole trip in advance. With Immersive View for routes, now you can, whether you're walking, cycling, or driving. Let me show you what I mean. Say I'm in New York City and I want to go on a bike ride. Maps has given me a couple of options close to where I am. I like the one on the waterfront, so let's go with that. Looks scenic. And I want to get a feel for it first. Click on Immersive View for routes, and it's an entirely new way to look at my journey. I can zoom in to get an incredible bird's eye view of the ride. And as we turn, we get onto a great bike path. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful ride. You can also check today's air quality. Looks like AQI is 43, pretty good. And if I want to check traffic and weather and see how they might change over the next few hours, I can do that. Looks like it's going to pour later, so maybe I want to get going now. Immersive View for routes will begin to roll out over the summer and launch in 15 cities by the end of the year, including London, New York, Tokyo, and San Francisco. Another product made better by AI is Google Photos. We introduced it at I/O in 2015. It was one of our first AI-native products. Breakthroughs in machine learning made it possible to search your photos for things like people, sunsets, or waterfalls. Of course, we want you to do more than just search photos. We also want to help you make them better. In fact, every month, 1.7 billion images are edited in Google Photos. AI advancements give us more powerful ways to do this. For example, Magic Eraser, launched first on Pixel, uses AI-powered computational photography to remove unwanted distractions. And later this year, using a combination of semantic understanding and generative AI, you can do much more with a new experience called Magic Editor. Let's have a look. Say you're on a hike and you stop to take a photo in front of a waterfall. You wish you had taken your bag off for the photo, so let's go ahead and remove that bag strap. The photo feels a bit dark, so you can improve the lighting. And maybe you want to even get rid of some clouds to make it feel as sunny as you remember it. Looking even closer, you wish you had posed so it looks like you're really catching the water in your hand. No problem. You can adjust that. There you go. Let's look at one more photo. This is a great photo, but as a parent, you always want your kid at the center of it all. And it looks like the balloons got cut off in this one. So you can go ahead and reposition the birthday boy. Magic Editor automatically recreates parts of the bench and balloons that were not captured in the original shot. As a finishing touch, you can punch up the sky. It changes the lighting in the rest of the photo so the edit feels consistent. It's truly magical. We are excited to roll out Magic Editor in Google Photos later this year.
Tasked with designer.
With that, we come to the end of the session. Thanks a lot, Moneylife, for giving me the opportunity to do this. and I hope you enjoyed having this session. I did not overstep the time, but if there are any questions, as I said, I don't know all the answers, but we can take a few questions if you are up for it. And if you still want to explore more, these are my links which you can use. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Yazdi. This has been a fantastic session, and it's very kind of you to take questions. May I suggest that this video is going to be available for everyone who wants to look at it, and if people can post the questions in chat, that will make it faster, and you may be able to respond to more people. Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
Akshay, any raised hands?
None that I can see.
What
there was
about privacy and security? This is
Yes,
the
yes.
question which is most asked. So we are in a world where slowly we are losing our privacy, but based on the algorithm that is there, no single person can view all your queries. It is only the machine which is knowing all your queries and it is responding. Typically, you have to trust the infrastructure. As I keep saying, that there is no ultimate security. If you lock your house and go for a vacation, your house keys can be made in 10 minutes. All right. So what you do is you trust the system around it. You trust your watchman, you trust the people around you, etc., etc. Your locker key can be made in 10 minutes. There was a case recently where the bank manager colluded with somebody and he removed all the contents from a locker. Now, there is no ultimate security, but this is as secure as it can get because the infrastructure around it, the key maker, you can get in any corner, but a guy who can hack your data is going to be very difficult to locate. So it's a very, very difficult question. There is no ultimate security, but we can definitely trust the system to keep it as secure and as private as possible. What about plagiarism checks for matter generated? Yeah, so some of the things that are generated are original. Some of the things where people go to ChatGPT and get answers or go to Bing and get answers. Now there are apps which are available which actually check whether you have used AI to generate the response. So whether it is written by a machine or by a human being, there are apps which can even identify that. There are issues, yes, that you cannot have 100% secure platform. Fear of loss of jobs, no, as long as human beings survive and are innovative, there is no loss of jobs. All this was in the 90s when computers came, everybody said we will lose jobs, but nobody lost jobs. There are new jobs that are getting created. If you go to Twitter or you go to Facebook, there are hundreds of people offering ChatGPT prompts for free, ChatGPT prompts for a small fee, etc., etc. So there is lots and lots of stuff. Yeah, on the medical side, yes, there are issues because again, all these are constantly evolving. It is not necessarily that everything is static. So the knowledge is evolving. So what answer you get today after 2 months, the answers you get may be totally different. Like I did a query, what are the non-invasive ways in which brain surgery can be done today? So whatever the technology is available today, it will pick up and display to you. But there is lots more. So please don't try to argue with a doctor based on answers that are given to you by ChatGPT. Loss of individuality, yes. Actually, if you notice, many of these issues or many of these apps, they allow you to be creative. You can make a funny thing, you can make a very stern thing, you can make an aggressive letter, etc., etc. So individuality, you can build it into this. And every time you go to this, it will be varied. It is not going to be the same letter that is going to be generated. If I say make a CV for me and these are my qualifications, this is my experience, and these are my main points, every time you do it, it will generate something new. Yes, you can do this. You can upload a letter from someone on Bing and ask it to generate a reply to it. Yes. Even you can upload a spreadsheet and you can ask, if you noticed that other one, smart formulas, etc., you can upload the actual spreadsheet and get a response to that also. Lethargy, of course, everybody is getting lazy. We want to do much more and have much more leisure than actually doing the mundane work. Ultimately, see, you have to use it more for mundane work than for actual creative work. Creative work, investigative work, these are all still with the human brain. I don't know 20 years from now what we can say, but as of today, it is still with the human brain. There is a lot of course, if you use a calculator, are you not being lethargic? Earlier, you used to count it on your fingers. Earlier, you used to do it mentally. But now there is lethargy. You're using a calculator. So there is a lot of lethargy, yes, but it helps you be more creative. You can always use ChatGPT or AI, but you see the variety of areas like car driving, self-driving cars. It can handle so many parameters which a human mind cannot even do it. Or even in terms of medical records. For example, he said, if you look at the retina, it can analyze it in so many ways, which otherwise was impossible to do it. You can predict behavior. You can predict the person's going back to the hospital. These are things which are very, very powerful and very useful to humanity. Of course, good things can be done, bad things can also be done. So there is no ultimate answer for that. But what could never have been done earlier, as I said, like now people are working on this personalized medicine. So based on my DNA, if I have a certain condition, say I have a cardiac problem, everybody is prescribed the same drug. But based on my DNA, my background, my geographical location, my age, my past history, they can now devise medicines which can be actually focused on your particular body and receptivity. Sometimes you realize that certain things work for certain people, certain other things, the same things don't work for others. So now that possibility is there, that we are going to have medicine which is going to be very, very focused on individuals. Legal AI website, I have not come across. As I said, the field is really, really huge. You'll have to look around and find your own solutions. What I intended to do today was just to give you an overview of what are the possibilities. And I hope that is now all answers we can do. If you want legal only, then we can have a full session only on legal. If you want only self-driving cars or medicine, we can have a full session on that. Because here we are just looking at an overview. How can one protect from threats by cyber criminals using AI to make fake apps and deepfakes? That again, as I said, technology is always evolving, and as they say, the cyber criminal has to be successful only once, but we have to protect ourselves all the time, 24/7, 365 days in a year. So that cat and mouse game always goes on. Any don'ts to avoid while using AI? Of course, you don't give personal information. Of course, that is the fundamental thing. Don't give your credit card number and don't give your telephone numbers and your bank account numbers. But definitely, if you make generic searches, you should know how to use AI. Like even people should know how to use Twitter or Facebook, and a lot of people put a lot of personal information and then they get exposed to all sorts of traps. So if you don't do personal information and do most of the generic stuff, will AI listen to our complaints and grievances? It will listen and give you a sympathetic ear. If you want a very sympathetic answer also, AI will help you. I think Siri already does it, or Google Home or Alexa, they already do it. Like if you say that I am really depressed, tell me a joke, and it will give you a joke also. No, we are not losing our creativity and thinking abilities. It helps us think better and think more and more creative. It is never going to overtake human beings, at least in the foreseeable future. I don't know, 50 years hence, I may not be there. But then the point is that we always have this issue about creativity versus.
So I think we'll end the session here.
Yeah,
Before we officially conclude, let me extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker. Thank you, Mr. Tantra, for conducting this session and explaining complex ideas in a very understandable manner. We learned about so many interesting tools. I'll definitely have to go back and watch the recording again to check them all out. Thank you everyone for joining us. I'm sure you enjoyed the session as much as I have. Remember, AI isn't for the experts, it's a tool for everyone. So do stay connected, stay curious, and keep learning. Until we meet again, take care and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.